Number 17 has this graph, and then it says, which of the following right triangles has a slope that would lie on the dashed line shown in the graph above? So I have slope, but now this graph doesn't show the grid lines or any type of units. It does have my x and y axis, but I can't really count to do my slope like normal rise over run. But it does give me these ordered pairs, and to find the slope between two ordered pairs, we have a formula that says m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So anytime you see a bunch of ordered pairs and they are asking you about the slope, you have to use this formula. Before you start plugging in numbers, you need to label your coordinates. x1, y1, x2, y2. Now you're ready to put them into this formula. The top asks you to subtract y2 minus y1. So I see my y2 number is 4. So I'm going to write 4 minus, now I go get my y1 number. It is 7. On the bottom, it says x2 minus x1. Here is my x2, so I'm going to put it first. I'm going to say minus because that's in the formula. x1 is a negative 5, so I have to write negative 5. Whenever you work the top part, that would just be negative 3. Whenever I work the bottom, anytime you have a minus and a negative side by side, you can just change it to plus. So this is like 5 minus 3 is 2. So I found the slope of this line to be negative 3 over 2. It should be negative because this line is going down as you move from left to right. So I have to find which one of these triangles would also have a slope of negative 3 over 2, just like I got at the top. So here we go again. I'm using the formula where you subtract y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I go label them first. x1, y1, x2, y2. So I can plug them in and get my slope. Okay, it would say 1 minus 2 over 0 minus negative 1. That works out to be negative 1 over 1, which reduces to negative 1. That is not the slope that I got at the top. That negative 3 over 2 does not match this answer. I mark it out. The next one I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. Now I start plugging in my numbers. It's going to say negative 6 minus negative 1 over, I take this one, 3 minus 1. I can change the minus and negative to a plus. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. On the bottom, I get 2. This does not match the slope that I got at the top. I'll mark it out. I'll label x1, y1, x2, y2. The top of the formula said y2 minus y1, so I write negative 5 minus negative 2 over x2 minus x1, so 3 minus 1. Minus a negative changes to a plus, so negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. This one matches the slope that I got for the one at the top. C is the right answer. Okay. On the back, I see a table of x and y values. The table lists the points that form a line on the coordinate plane. Based on the information in the table, what are the y-intercept and the slope of the line? Alright. We have worked on getting the slope and the y-intercept from a table. You have a page glued down in your journal of how to do this. But I'm going to show you. To get the slope or the M for a table, you do change in Y over change in X. So I'm going to see, how did this Y value change? It increased by 1. Put that with the top part of my ratio. Then I'm going to ask myself, how did this X value change? From a 20 to a 40, it increased by 20. Okay, and these were both positive, so that can't reduce anymore, 1 over 20. If I go and look at my answer choices and see which one had the correct slope, I see that this one is good, and also the one on answer choice D is good. So right now, I'm going to eliminate C, and I'm going to eliminate A, because they did not have the correct slope. Now, if you're finding a y-intercept, the X value always has to be 0. So, which one of these two ordered pairs has the X value of 0? An ordered pair gives me an X and then a Y, an X and then a Y. So the one that has the correct y-intercept has to have the X value of 0. That on B would be on the X-axis. That is not a y-intercept. So the correct answer on number 18 is answer choice D.